Down in the wasteland a tale unfolds. A pirate roams in a world so cold. Black powder strapped and 6-gun might. Dark leather coat blowing through the night. He's a rockabilly legend on the open road. In the bomb shadow his legend grows. Cold as steel leaves his mark. In this cruel world he's a fire spark. Chasing the echoes of a distant past, where the winds howl through the mountains vast. A pirate's code with a deadly aim. No mercy for fools, no room for shame. Through rusted ruins and broken towns, he hunts for gold where the lost are found. Whiskey in hand and devilish grin. Fate deals the hand, but Tom plays to win. Broken towns, he hunts for gold where the lost are found. Whiskey in hand and devilish grin. Fate deals the hand, but Tom plays to win.
All right. Well then. All right, so it looks like I just found out that there's no mutations today. So I'm a little bit at a loss of what to do without mutation invasion. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna proceed as normal. Just have fun with it. See what's going on. I do need to capture my final fish, so there is that. And the camera is off for the time being because I'm actually just wrapping up, actually eating today. So just wanted to spare you guys that. It would appear that we're also having crazy kinds of frame drops. I have no idea what OBS is doing
Hostile
right now.
trespassers detected. Employees are encouraged to remove trespassers before damage to extractor units occurs.
Can you guys see me out? Hold on real quick. Let's see what's going on with this. I gotta see this on my end. No, I mean, it actually looks kind of good on my end, if I'm being honest. Huh. I have no explanation as to why my OBS says everything is red right now. I don't know. Everything looks good to me. I can't explain it. YouTube's being awfully picky with me today.
Terminated management personnel. Remove this individual from the premises.
It's all booked, it's all cooked. We're just flying by the seat of our pants. And I feel actually kind of bad about that. Should I? I mean, I don't know. Who's shooting at me? Okay, yeah. Apparently there's not a whole lot of people guarding this main room. Some people are approaching this with the West kind of. Let's just throw grenades at everything.
Detecting terminated management personnel. Remove this individual from the premises. Adequate uranium volume extracted and processed.
I wonder where he got off to.
Increased.
Is this... There he is. He's up there. Of course it's a 1-star. Yeah? Okay. That's somebody who's like cremator for every situation kind of person right there. Little too early to load. Premature loading. What are people hoping to accomplish?
Detecting terminated management personnel. Remove
Not against it, but
from the
like,
premises.
why?
Adequate uranium volume extracted and processed. Output quantity increased.
Cremators do cremate.
Extraction complete. Extractors must complete cleaning and ventilation process before continuing operation. Please vacate.
Oh, I can barely see it. It's so dark. Absolutely super dark. Oh, I can't. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe out or warp out of here. Wipe. I have no idea what is even happening right now. So if that's not a thing, what was? Because I literally looked at the community calendar. August 26th. It is the 26th. And then, okay, treasure hunters then. Oh, well, treasure hunters, that's easy to do. Let me pop this in real quick. Bandwidth is just dying. What is even that? Well. Okay. I don't know, do I have a turnover? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Serve and protect.
Somebody, that's a non-Fallout Fallout first person putting all that in there. Well, I suppose while we're at it, let's go ahead and get this fishing out of the way. Because what we got left is the last fish in the... Where is it? Over in this area right here. Not Gulper Lagoon. I want to say, yeah, the big maw. That's what we got left. So let's go ahead and knock that out then. While we're here. Ow. You know, I haven't really been down here much. I'm just gonna take that right on the chin. I'm on fire. And I'm poisoned. And I'm frosty. So I don't think we can actually place a camp here, so it's pretty much gonna be this. We're just gonna do what we can. This is a gulpy. A glowing gulpy, no less. Yeah. Nice. That's not what I expected to take the first thing out of the water, but I'll take it. I intend to, because the gulpy is so weird, I thought it would be the most hilarious fish to have, like, on plaques. Just the I've never scrapped or turned them into chunks because I think they're so goofy looking. I want to see how many I can actually catch. Oh, that noise is going to drive me nuts. Oh, finally. Shook itself loose. Or did it? Where's the... There we are. Canned fish chowder. That's what I'm looking for. Queen Foxy, hello. You come in. You're the first one today. What's up? I'm about to go after the last one. Oh! Oh, it works! Oh my god, it works. Hello. Let's see Stabby. Stabby must have finished up. How was the stream? How did it end? I had to leave a little while ago just to finish this thing up and get it all set up. Oh, what? Awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Stabby. I appreciate you. Then yeah, you might stop in just in time, but like I'm getting the really good one. Yeah, I did. It's not yeah, that was very disheartening. But yeah, I had to start all over again. Lucky for me, like I'm coming into this with a whole lot of like experience from the previous channel. Smashy, what's up? So I'm not completely disarmed going into this. You finished the main game, you cried? Yeah, I'm sad I missed that then because thank you, Stabby. I'm sad. Because I kind of want to see what yours was. I do know what happens the very end. I actually went and rewatched that recently. What happens when you finally, if you do, I don't know what ending you had, but when you wake up out of Mikoshi, and then you see how the world moved on without you. Yeah, that was just, I was gutted. It's just... Because the thing about the cyberpunk genre is that you're not left feeling content underneath no circumstances. It's written into the genre. despair is the only thing you have. You don't get happy endings. You get, maybe this would be a thing. And in most, you chose the Johnny and we died in a permadeath run. Yeah, I remember the last thing I said was just like, Johnny was just so hard to take another crack at Arasaka, you know? Like, he just wanted to get the band back together and cause all kinds of mayhem, which, you know, I get. I definitely feel that sometimes. Hello, sweetie. But I'm gonna go back and watch it. I want to see Stabby's version. Oh, did I get him? Because this is officially no. This will be. Oh wow. Hello, Kenny P. If you are in the room, say hello. I gotta know. So I'm here to capture the Cthulhu fish. Kitty P, hello! Thank you for signing up. How are you doing? Yeah, I do. I gotta climb back up. Like I'm 300 down from where I was. At least, you know. So, to Kenneth is this the right one? Maw Forgotten. Am I in the right place? It is in the Maw. Because usually it's very... I am in the right spot, I think. Yeah, thanks again, Stabby. If I've been chained to a screen all day. Yes, I know. Like, I was just like, girl, you need to get some food in you. Like, decompress. Do all the cool, like, you got to do the good self-care stuff. You know? But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I really appreciate it. This is going to be a landmark moment for me. I will have, officially, I've already finished the scoreboard, but I'm looking to catch my last very big fish. And I'm looking to do this, like, this is the last week, or this is the final day for me streaming Season 21. And I've had some thoughts about what I want to do about Season 22, especially with the perk changes. I'm really happy about the direction that the new perk changes have happened. I took a slight gander at it. I kind of wanted my reactions to these things to be organic. So when I do chase down information that hasn't hit the live servers yet, I only just barely gloss over it. But I will be, at some point in time, I will go over the perk changes at the beginning of the stream. I wanna talk through all of the patch notes and everything, get myself hyped up so that I can make a decision about what I want to do, because in my opinion, while I do like the scoreboard, the calendar is kind of eh. I'm not fond of like the same old kind of stuff that we've got going on. So I'm thinking about changing the direction of what I want to do through Season 22. What can I do on my end to make 76 content pop? And I was thinking, I don't have a whole lot of experience doing build videos, but if the season is going to be build oriented, I would like to do something based on that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across my various characters, and many of them have very terrible camps, in my opinion. They're just built for basic functionality and not much else. I have a couple of very cool camps that I want to spruce up, And with some of the new content and some of the new items that are coming into, and the expansion and the cleanup of the UI of these camps, I think I'm going to move towards a more camp build focused stream, primarily during season 22, and see where it goes from there. I have been told that some of my very well done camps have met approval with people who have judged. Stabby said I had a wonderful treehouse camp. So, and that was probably one of my better ones. I know I can do better. There was a point in time in which I got kind of like, I just need to get this thing done and over with, you know? Getting the basic frame down took a whole, like, I want to say close to 4 or 5 hours. And then decorating it was 2 whole other streams. So that's something I'm looking at. But other than that, for those of you who just come in, I do play 7 Days to Die on either Friday or Saturday. It's going to depend on how my work schedule ends up being. I did get a second job, and very, very soon, in addition to all of this, like, I'm going to be moving into a new place very, very soon. And that's going to have a very huge effect on what kind of content I can put out. How I'm going to get, you know, schedules and everything lining up. Decorating a new camp today, almost done with it. Awesome. Are you going to make a video for it? Because I'd love to see it. I actually watched Six Samurais, was it earlier today, I want to say? The one that he did in the Toxic Valley. Where one of the parts of the camp is actually built on the back of, like, one of the dinosaurs. Yeah. Oh, look at that! Striped axolotl. Very, very cool. That's the 3rd one. That is actually the 3rd one I've caught. I got 2 the very first day of the fishing, or the mini season, or at the beginning of the month. I haven't caught one since, but that's cool. But yeah, I'm gonna try my hand at camp videos, or camp streams and camp videos. It will be something other than just kind of grinding out score, since, like, I don't know, I haven't really been finding that super enjoyable lately. 3 spike snappers so far. That's pretty awesome. And then, yeah, I play Skyrim on Mondays, Fallout 76 on Tuesdays, and I have been playing The Walking Dead from Telltale. Last week I wasn't able to do anything like that because it was really busy from work, but as time permits, in a non-official capacity, I have been streaming that one, and it's more of a story than it is a game. It's kind of like a choose-your-own adventure. You started on Skyrim last night? Awesome! I love Skyrim. I'm level 14. I'm playing a Breton mage, like full spellcaster, who's also like master alchemist. Alchemy is like my highest score, right? It's the easiest one to level, so I'm basically making lots and lots of money and chugging tons of potions. Your fifth playthrough? I have tons of little playthroughs, but I have not many fully completed ones because I get so sidetracked. I mean, technically, if you're gonna do a straight playthrough of Skyrim, you can do it actually quite easily. I mean, it's, you know, basic human, but the it's hard to play, especially a spellcaster, unless you hotkey some of your abilities. It basically gives you the ability to absorb magic. Similar to like how the Atronach, like back in the day when I played Morrowind and Oblivion, my Bretons, which probably even in ESO, like I had a Breton. I loved playing Bretons. The ability to just soak up massive amounts of magic being casted at you means that you can focus much of your defense on other things. So basically all it does is just kind of take away from that. Previous to that, I played a Redguard warrior. I never managed to finish that stream, but that was on the old channel. And I lost my cloud. Something happened to my cloud save, and Steam was like, you're screwed. But I've beaten it a few times. I've beaten it on an Orc Warrior, which was my very first character. I did a Breton Nightblade as a second character, which was crazy fun. If you're doing magic and one-handed, particularly daggers, that is probably my favorite play style. You know, get a couple hits in and do magic. It's easy to enchant with that build because, you know, if you've got a dagger that you swap to a dagger that can do soul trap, you know, like you're making enchanting food all day. But I'm actually doing the full mage playthrough, and the reason why I did this is so that, one, I can skip kind of blacksmithing. You know, it's blacksmithing, just grinding out blacksmithing is not, it doesn't, in my opinion, really make for good content. But I just finished the College of Magicka. I'm in Oostengraf to get the Horn of Jürgen Windcaller. So I'm about 2 or 3 streams into that. And then we're going to do Soul Time and the, what is it? We're doing the Dawn Guard content as well. Plus, it's also modded. I do have modded for extra cool magical stuff that's balanced and not super powerful. When I do kind of push magic, but like particularly destruction magic, really, really high, it's just like even with 300 magicka, I could blow my entire blue bar. It's just gone in seconds. So I have to be very, very careful about what I do. I've already adopted 2 kids that are living in Bree's home. And they're the controversial kids, too. It's the one where the kids from the 2 adoptable girls from Rorikstead. Okay, so this is looking like a gulpy. Yeah, I'm guessing this is a gulpy. It might be a glowing one. No, it's another axolotl. Wow. So here we are, 2 for 2 on axolotls out of the 4. So it's the beginning of the month I caught 2. They were practically back to back, and now I've caught 2 more at the end of the month. I also played a North Stealth Archer because everybody has to play a Stealth Archer at some point in time. I managed to complete the game with her, but I mostly just went through the entire game. You know, I didn't do a whole lot of side content. I've never played a full thief. Like, the Nightblade is as close as I got to. What the? Do you guys see that? Oh my lord. My luck today is crazy. That's 2 axolotls. Back to back. 3 today. I've never fished in this spot before either. So this is kind of awesome. So what is everybody else's plans to do for Season 22? Has anybody given it much thought? Do you guys like the idea of the season? Is it right up your alley? I know there's a lot of camp building changes, but in terms of like what people are going to do with it, I mean, I imagine that can take so many different forms. Argonian? Oh yeah, my oh, see, the thing I remember back in the day when Morrowind first came out, my very first Elder Scroll was a Khajiit acrobat in Morrowind. But I hated the fact that I couldn't wear boots. Yeah, Dark Elf is a good playthrough. Dark Elf is a fun playthrough, especially playing as Nightblade. I had one playthrough where I basically only did the Civil War, and I played as a High Elf, if you can believe that. I played as a High Elf I joined the Stormcloaks, and I went to Windhelm. I listened to all of the racism, all the crazy BS racism that everybody in Windhelm had. Joined the Stormcloaks, went through the entire war series, the entire war campaign. I get at the end, and we are declaring Ulfric the High King of Skyrim. And I walked up to him, looked at him dead in his eye, and I was like, how does it feel to know that none of your people could take Skyrim, but it took one High Elf to do it? I won you Skyrim, but I don't think you deserve it, so I'm taking it all for myself. Because technically, by the lore, the Civil War never really got off the ground. It's supposed to be kind of guided by the fact that you're the Dragonborn, and even while you're doing just Dragonborn, the base content, when you go through and you try to divvy up Skyrim for both rulers, like every single time I've gone through it, like they were such babies at the table that nothing was ever fully accomplished, and in the end, neither one of them was really trusting me all that much. So I just decided, I was like, yeah, let me try this. So I won the war for him, and then went, how does it feel, Ulfric, you racist SOB? While you sat back on your throne and made all kinds of commentary about what needed to happen, I'm the one who actually made it happen for you. And High Elf is a hard thing to play because you're susceptible to magic damage. Luckily, during the war, like, it's mostly swords. So it didn't really affect me too much. Ooh, is this is this another Spike Snap? Wow, I'm going crazy on the Spike Snappers. My one Argonian character was in ESO. I had a Argonian Templar because I was told it was a really good combo. And it was. Like, I had a lot of fun with that character. I mostly role-played with him. I didn't really... Once I finished the faction content, I didn't really do much with him after that other than role-playing him. Another one! What gives, man? Yeah, the racism just left a huge bad flavor in my mouth, and I went, what is the most punk thing I could do in this moment? Like, what could I do to just thumb my nose at the man? Well, take out Rika, because she was the one who put you to the chopping block, defeat General Tullius, and then make Ulfric's victory feel hollow. To me, that felt like that was the most degenerate thing I could do in that situation. and I enjoyed every single minute of it. I think that game probably, I couldn't have been more than like 8 hours total. I've also played the alternative star, where basically you're like the non-Dragonborn. Another one? Wow. I'm going crazy on the spike snappers. I thought they were... No, it's the gulpies that are the harder ones to get your hands on. I am very much considering picking up the Oblivion remake. I have regular Oblivion, but I'm very interested in, like... And I know that playing Oblivion would be really funny, because it's like that game is basically a meme. It felt great to save that part of Tamriel and shove it in their faces. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna remember this. You're gonna remember me. Your political enemies are gonna be talking about this for decades. I should have statistically lost a fish by now. I'm getting really lucky here. But I have not played an Argonian in Skyrim yet. I've considered it many, many times. Because in my opinion, I love playing underdogs. And the Argonians are kind of like the underdogs of all of Tamriel. I mean, they're underdogs, but their history is also extremely significant. Oh, there he is! Oh, I can tell by how slow it's moving. This is it. This is it. Oh! It's happening. It's happening! Now, if I could just keep up with it. No, don't! Oh, I almost lost it. Oh, it's mine. It's mine. It's mine. All mine. It is the great old one. You dare not say his name too loud, for you will summon him from the ether. In the space between the deep underground where the sleeping dead gods still reign. There he is, the last fish. Oh, man. How awesome is that? And there we have it. The only thing I have left on fishing quests for this character is glowing fish. And I don't really have any supreme drive to actually finish that, because it would take forever. You see that? Not bad. I didn't think I was ever going to get through it. Clay axolotl, the dotted. What's the difference between the dotted and the spotted? I don't even know. The pink axolotl, that would be hilarious. Considering, like, axolotls only come from one part of the world. They come from one lake in Mexico that surrounds Mexico City. You'll find, like, other kinds of creatures that are related to it, but how did axolotls make it into West Virginia? I have no idea. But I suppose when you're faced with, like, the kind of technology that the world previous to the bombs dropping, what kind of world that was, I imagine rich people were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Maybe that's also why piranha are in the water. Yeah, they're adorable. There it is, y'all. I pulled it off in the first 45 minutes of my stream. Well, maybe maybe the first 50 minutes. Bam. I should have taken... Oh, I didn't even think about that. I should have taken a screenshot, shouldn't I have? Oh, well. It's going up on the wall, I know that. I still have Wavy Willard and the Organ Grinder. The Organ Grinder and Wavy Willard I caught on the same day within 15 minutes of each other. I felt like it didn't really take that much work. But I mean, I'll respect it. Oh, look at that. This is what happens when I reset my computer back to factory standards and I haven't trimmed all my graphics yet. So everything is slowly loading in. Let's give that a minute. I'll have to look away. We're going to give that a minute to load in. Is that... No? Alright. Settings. Display... No, is it... It's got object fade, grass fade. I don't know if item fade really means anything. But you can see how I've got, like, well, shadow quality, medium, shadow distance, low. These are the ones that really kind of kill my, my frame rate. There we go. So I had to reset everything. But I mean, like, I've got some cool new stuff. Like, I had to redo OBS too. But what's great about that is, like, I was able to recover, but also improve some of my, like, some of the things that I had in OBS. Because I don't regularly mess with it enough. Where is he? No? 10 ways to avoid a shark attack. Funnily, stay out of the water wasn't on the list. I mean, these are humans we're talking about, right? Did I? Oh, there he is. Family member laughed at me when I sold my bike to buy a PC, but I think that was the best decision. I wish. I mean, with the amount that bikes cost these days. One of the things I'm gonna definitely do in the next season is I'm gonna play with crossbow. It's one of the most hated weapons in the game, and I'm going to find a way to make it work. If I can make black powder rifles work, I can do something with the crossbow. Get away from me. Might as well get you two while I'm at it. Man, I love those damage numbers. Super good. Yeah, I'm pulling out my archer character for it. As a matter of fact, let's do that. Let's do like a pre-season show-off. Best for events, 1 arrow, 20 kill. I could solo Moonshine Jamboree with this character. Absolutely. I did it without even really paying attention, too. I don't know many people who can claim that. I think it can only be done with the Cremator or the bow. But then the cremator's probably better at it. But I got the 2-shot explosive flaming bow, and it's I'm very impressed with it. Like the damage numbers by themselves really aren't what makes it great, but the fire damage that gets pushed everywhere is what I truly love about it the most. Next update, it's nerfed. What nerfed by how much? Like what part of it is being nerfed? Could you go into detail about that? I mean, we got a week to go, so I guess I don't mind asking. Otherwise, I'd be like, no! But I watched the video that you had done for bows, and I've seen videos that, like, the older gamer, he's got a, like, the older gamer and I, like, even though we, like, don't know each other all that well, like, he loves all the same gameplay I do. The Shredder will be nerfed. The radioactive strength perk won't work with it. Oh. I mean, the Shredder is pretty powerful. I know a lot of people where they were talking about, like, what's more powerful, the Shredder or the Auto Axe? And then they both get nerfed? I still use Buzz Blades, so I love underdogs, so like I still love my Booze Blade build. Yeah, here's my archer. Carpet bombs. 2-shot explosive, that's critical charge. It almost doesn't matter really what your 3rd star is on this weapon. But look at that. And you can increase that by quite a bit. And here's some of the weapons that Crop Duster. This is my poison bow. I've taken these weapons into the raid too. Dropping bombs is my explosive, I think. Oh no, it's not plasma. I think yeah, this is explosive ultrasight, I want to say. So this is kind of like the single target one. Sister Handy, yeah, that's her. Splody Bolt. The Drildo. Shh, you guys, this is yeah. Thunderclap. This is a fun weapon right here. This is the electricity one, and this is meant for like combat where like you're surrounded. Yeah, I figured that was the one that was probably the most help. And then down here, this one I looted the other day, and I want to do something with it because I used to have a crossbow I called the Icicle Launcher, and that was frost weapons. Yeah, that's an obvious reference to Idiocracy. But I'm gonna change the 2nd and 3rd stars on this thing to I don't know yet, and maybe I'll just change the 2nd one. But I'm looking at this one as being like my next sort of. I mean, I kind of want it similar to how I use the black powder weapon, but we won't know yet because the last time I tried this weapon, the last time I tried quad crossbows, they weren't fixed yet. They were still suffering from a reduction in, I don't remember what it was. It was their recharge rate, their global recharge cooldown.
Got this, Pat. Dial on, keep the energy up.
Oh! Okay, it doesn't auto-reload like the other ones do. Huh. It's faster than a black powder rifle, I'll say that. Oh, you still gotta load them one at a time. Okay, so it's not fixed. Yeah, you see, yeah. Crossbows are still not fixed. Alright. Well, hopefully they'll change that. Hopefully they'll change that at some point in time. So there's Stabby's toothpick. I want to make cake batter bites. Do it. Make cake batter bites. Do it and then record it. So I got to do fire damage to enemies anyway. So let's go see if we can find these mole rats. Yeah, that's still disheartening. Crossbows are still kind of broken. But so are black powder weapons, and I played through them too. With the reload like that, I'll probably just use single shot ones and see how that works out. I remember I was very reliant on battle loaders before black powder weapons were fixed. I still have a ton of battle loaders. I've got at least like 13 battle loader mods. I smell somebody cooking. What kind of cake batter are you thinking about, though? Space Ghost, just basic cake batter? Another free range? Let's move that camera back a little bit. No. Someone cooking? Maybe the rock. You smell what the rock is cooking. What are you baking? What kind of cake batter are you baking? Well, I guess is frying considered cooking? I think so. It's not considered technically baking, is it? I mean, I don't know. It's been a while. Well. Oh, it's that free range. There's people already waiting. Like, did it go that far? No, there's nobody there, actually. Video uses vanilla Pillsbury cake batter. I'm sure I could select another flavor. Yeah. We got mini donuts at where I'm at work. Where can I go to put the fire down? Let's do this. I'm going to have fun with this, I think. Y'all want to see something crazy? This is actually what Smashy did in his video. Very, very similar. If nobody's there and all the ghouls are there, this should be interesting. garlic festival. Ooh, I bet you the garlic festival smelled amazing. The cinnamon ones tasted like puffed up cinnamon toast crunch. Or I don't know if that's a good thing. I would rather have them taste like cinnamon donuts. Cinnamon toast crunch has got, I don't know, I think they use very cheap cinnamon. I'm sort of a, I know enough about spices to know that most cinnamon that you get on the market is garbage. Real cinnamon that, like, I got as a young boy, and I'm not one of those people that are like, back in my day, but this really was a true thing. Like, cinnamon back in my day used to burn people's mouths. No. Although I did get the attention of something down below because the battle music started playing. Alright. Unless I'm just hearing other things. Oh, I didn't see damage numbers. Everything here's dead. Yeah, not only is it dead, but somebody was here recently. Oh, wait, no? Was that the Wendigo? Oh! Wow, okay. We suffered from the problem of, like, nothing was rendering in. Alright. Well, that changes things. Back in my day, Dunkaroos were better and had more cookie options. There's another thing. Taking out vertibirds is very easy for this character. 360 no scope. And then did we get them all? All right, there we go. So there's a there it is. Now I should be able to target it. Oh, what's happening? Do I got to chase it? Boom! Well, folks, we may have just gotten ourselves a nuke drop.
Unauthorized access of secure
Whoop,
transport.
whoop. And then I think, yeah, all my codes expired. I remember seeing that at the very beginning.
5 minutes, unless valid cancellation code received.
Yeah, all of these are done. These are from like several weeks ago, I think. One of the things I very much kind of like, I really wish that they had changed is the ability to use, the ability to use bows in power armor. All right, Smashy, have a good one, man. MC5's on the radio. Hey, Ram knows these guys too. Well, I mean, if you're a fan of music, you are aware of the contribution of MC5 to the punk music scene. But I think, like, it's also been said, and especially since I live in the Minneapolis area, that it's MC5 is, I think, officially originated from here. I'm almost positive about that. We gotta do... We still gotta finish off these mole rats. And hopefully we'll get a, we'll find a code in our travels, and we can put a nuke in the air. You'll have to send that one to me. Loose by Iggy Pop. Yeah, there are somebody that I know who lives in South Minneapolis said that they were actually really good friends with a woman who had allowed MC5 to stay at their apartment for like 3 days while they were, or not their apartment, their house, while like she housed them for a little while, like a few days, while they were getting some things together. There it is. Easy peasy. And then, oh yeah, the camera. This is one I've been saving. I wanted to save this for, this was something that I absolutely wanted to save for the stream. Wurlitzer bubbler. What kind of bubbler do you mean? There are so many different kinds that you could be referencing. Brisket burrito. That sounds amazing. Garlic Parmesan fries, always good. I've made those. Garlic Parmesan shrimp, I've made that. Honey garlic ginger beer. Honey garlic ginger beer. That sounds amazing. I've got, like, I love to use, like, hot honey. Those old jukeboxes that would bubble. Okay. So you're definitely not talking about a bong. Not a water fountain. One of my friends in Wisconsin calls a water fountain a bubbler. Oh. All right. So you meant that in the most tame sense of the word. That's legit. Am I in the right place? I don't think I am. Well, I'll tell you, having been around Wisconsinites, they've got weird words for things. They are very unique amongst all the Midwestern types. Bubbling Christmas tree candlelights. Yeah, I figured that's... If that's what you're leaning towards, yeah. I think I've seen those. Oh, Super Mutant versus Deathclaw. Nobody wins. But that Deathclaw went through that entire group. That's impressive. So I'm aware of a few locations where Mega Sloths hang out. Otherwise, I could go fishing for one and hope one shows up. But I do believe, is it over here? Alright. In air quotes. Yeah, I don't think this is the place. Is it over here? I'll tell you this about Wisconsinites, though. I've been to Milwaukee to like where the cheese and sausage shops are. That shit is good. Am I facing the right way? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go fishing for it. There's a spot where, like, there's a bunch of them, a bunch of ground sloths. Giant mega sloths are, they're like in trees. Huh. Fun with chemistry stuff like liquid nitrogen, sulfur, hexafluoride. When I was really younger, I had one of those chemistry kits, and I had a couple of those given to me by various people, or like I got one from a teacher who had gotten it to me for like one of those Secret Santa presents in school. Alright, here we go. Let's find out. What's behind door number 1? Oh, there he is. Aww. Mega sloths are adorable. No. Are you serious? Alright. Alright, we're going to come back to this. Because I've set everything up, I neglected to change my tent. So we're going to have to do that real quick. Or is it skins? Fallout first? Yeah. All right, cool. All right, we're about to have ourselves a photo shoot, y'all. Oh, come on. Don't be shy. Look at that sweet face. There's one down. All right, now give me sexy. Give me a sexy pose. Give me the sexy pose. Come on. Devour the camera. Look good for it. Yeah, there you go. Get that profile shot in there. Look at that. You got that hungry look. All right, now slay me. Slay, queen, slay. Oh, yeah. Nice. Oh, man. That's hilarious. That's what we call having fun. I feel like Austin Powers. Yep. You're an animal, baby. Wow. Scary. Show me scary. Show me fierce. I'll turn that off. Well, I mean, I suppose I should finish it up. Now that I know that that's not the one to kill. Because it would let me know if that was the one that I needed to take out. It would say, kill the cryptid. Kill the cryptid, kill the cryptid. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is going to be good. Because that thing is annoying. And I could just keep putting the flame damage on it. Oh, I did put the electrician's mod on here. Or did I? Because that is meant to stun it. Yeah. Yeah, he don't like being stunned. I like how I'm getting red bars on OBS, but I'm doing it 5.5K kilobaud per second when I know that that's more than enough for the stream.
Analyzing sample.
Let's get up here because I know there's ticks. Dirty, dirty ticks.
Complete.
Or is there?
Updated.
Bloodied AGL. Lying down with that. That one's gonna get scrapped. Alright, so we do have treasure hunters. Let's go ahead and get some treasure hunters going. Or at least, isn't that what the camera said? Or the calendar? I'd have to go back into Discord and check it out. Yeah, the mini season for August. No, it's the 28th treasure hunter, so we're in the limbo period. Oh, that's lame. Oh wow, my stream is really far behind too. That is incredibly disappointed. And then it's green at 4.6. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So no treasure hunters either? I feel like I've been lied to. We were supposed to have today was supposed to be the last day of the mutations. Well, damn. All right. What can we do? I know, we could... I want to test something out here. How have the milepost zeros been going? Because last time I checked, they were still kind of buggy, but some people had some success with them. Anybody care to comment on that? I like how she's just staring at me.
About time. Brahmin is...
Wow, I didn't even get a chance to pick anything? Oh, I think I know what was up. I think this was my bugged character. All right, everybody. That's so weird. That is so weird. Let's go. Yeah, mule. Yeah, I don't even have a name for this one yet, which means, all right, we're testing the waters. Yeah, this character was bugged for this. I remember that. Ah, you can see where the liberators are by where the damage numbers light up. Alright, run! Yeah, mule! Yeah! I wish we could just hop on, like, they can carry a lot more than this. I've seen them do it, which means we could just hop on this bad boy. We should be able to just hop on and go. Oh, this is going to be easy. Let them all spawn in. Damn. Really? Not at all? That's lame. That's super lame. Oh, please, no. Don't do this now. Where are you going? You big dumb animal. Come on, let's go. The Brahmin's like, I'm confused. I'm confused, lady. What? All right, I guess we're having a break. Huh. Oh man, this is too funny. Go on. Oh no, it's in a crack now. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it should basically respawn. Bethesda, man. What can I say other than thank you so much for making games like this possible. This is like for the folks who wait for the bulls to cross the roads in India. Yeah, if you look, you see his, like, the mouth is in the ground. And that's how far away, like, the fire damage gets. There we go. Come on. Come on, Betty. I'm gonna call you Betty Poop. All right, here we go. Rollin', 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 keep them doggies rollin'. Rawhide. But in the meanwhile, like, when that gets in the way, oh, that's our superhero, buddy. What is his name? Like the electrician or something? Yeah, there he is. Who disappears just like the smiling man. Look at that. Electric cowboy. I'm not the only one seeing that effect, am I? The Electric Brahmin. There's the name of a punk band for you. What do you think, Space Ghost? Capitalists? What? Okay. I mean, you chose this. Hold on, I got the ADS bug. There we go. Kill the Yaguai. Just one? It's crazy that I get really good AP reduction on this one. On bow. Or crit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I got the extra crit charge. Doesn't take much to build up a full VATS charge with it. Nice. The mole. Sucks to be you, mole. There we go. But yeah, back to, so I think I did this last week too, but I'm going to do a quick show off here real quick of what I mean by we're going to do some camp building. So I want to give you guys an example of what actually, the kind of camp builds that I do. I'm not a super in-depth, use all of the tricks kind of camp builder. I'm interested in those things, but I think it's just a lot of work for a little extra something that I personally may not need in terms of what I like in camps. So we're gonna let that render in real quick. So this is my treehouse camp. This is the one I was talking about. Yeah, it's not fully rendered in either. There we go. Oh, I can actually hear the busted radio. That's hilarious. Okay. Hey, Sheba. You get the pets. But yeah, so it starts kind of up here. Here, this is my little setup. This is sort of like a little market stall kind of area. And I put this here because I kind of I was hoping it would work the same way Fallout 4's does, but it doesn't. Much to my chagrin. But anyway, so we've got this set up, this like the little area set up here. And I've got, like, you can see how the ivy is. This character is very big into, like, agriculture. So I wanted to reflect that in the build. How important it is that, like, science and agriculture are. And also, like, I thought this was interesting to do with, like, the nets from the fishing. Because, like, it kind of looks like it could be a hammock. Or a place that you could store, like, fruits and vegetables that you just wanted to dry out.
Wanna, hear something strange?
And here we start with a little seating area. This is where everybody shows up. You know, you can, you know, bullshit. You can, you know, watch the aquarium, or we can listen to music. This is where Raider Punk is all set up here. Rad Chicken, or Rad Pheasant.
Radio chatter has been so active lately.
Water. You could wash up here in the sink, although I'm not fond of this tree being stuck in the middle of that. This is where you get most of your water, and it's all together. All the water is all together, you can see. We do have a punch bowl, but like this is where you go in to shower, you can get your dirty water. Here's where you do your water testing. This is basically just meant to be all contained, and I needed to have this out here because this part where it collects the water from the rainfall, like that had to be important. Like that needed to be out in the open so that it looks like a logical placement for something like that. Just a short work area. This particular camp is not like all included kind of camp. I think I still have room to actually build here, but I wanted to be sure that this character had what she needed to do what she does. And I don't really have much room for anything else that wasn't, because there's like trading hubs available. So to just bring everything in was going to take up quite a bit on the camp budget itself, and I didn't want to do that. And obviously, you know, we've still got more flowers, we've got a lot more foliage. This is built off of the pavilion kit, and it took me quite a while to actually get this centered around the tree. Some of you who may have worked with camps will know that building around tree trunks can be really, really frustrating. Because there are parts that you just can't build around. You know, and it doesn't show anything, and it doesn't show you how or why or... Here, I'll show you, like, let's go ahead and take a look at it from the top. Like you can't clip the tree in any way, shape, or form. But like little branches can come off, but not the big ones. So I had to stop right there. It would not let me build higher than this. But as I'm looking at it, I wanted to make sure that it was made out of natural wood. So, and the basic kit plus the pavilion kit comes looking pretty much the same. So I thought that this was a really good blend of, yeah, that's a natural tree. So this is a really good blend of like naturally occurring wood colors on something. You don't have to paint it. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It can look like it was made. Oh wow, did I just got wounded by something? that I wasn't even touching. But anyway, so yeah, more flowers. We have this out here, and these are here to kind of break up the lines of sight. You can see that, like, I'm not super into just building boxes, but in this particular case, it kind of had to be kind of boxy. Because as I'm planning out the camp budget, I had really used up a lot of it very, very early. So I had to deconstruct it and start all over and put up less, but kind of get it to fill up some. But there are plenty of things that spawn in this area that like to attack. So I was just like, okay, well, let's put some like basic like defenses out here that would take care of something like that. And then the way to break up the lines of sight and to make it look less boxy was to give it these little shelves to add things into, things that you can stuff in to make it look like that it's less boxy than it actually is. And then in addition to that, we were able to put up some ivy to give it like some natural, not so much camouflage, but to make it look indistinguishable. And if you were a raider and you wanted to attack this site, you don't really have a line of sight of who's inside. You don't really get to see, you don't get to count numbers or anything like that, provided the turrets don't target you right away. We do have, like, that could probably get placed a little bit better. There is some groundwater, but also at the same time, there's nothing that you could do underneath here, really. Like, it took me a couple of tries just to get lights and stuff in. Yeah, there we go. See, there was one of my attempts. I'm actually sad I missed that. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot I could fit down inside in order to give it some look. Like, I thought it'd be nice to like put in a couple of trees or kind of bushes or something like that. But this ground slope tends to play hell with camp building, so I eventually gave up on that prospect, especially since it took up more camp budget than I really, really wanted. And then over here we've got more water, because you don't really see any sort of rustic things without a rustic well. And you don't necessarily need to have this pump here. So it was nice to have water backup. And most people who do any sort of post-apocalyptic prepping will tell you having multiple water sources is probably a good idea. It's primarily, I'm not really trying to run too much on generator power, but I do have this, and that's because like these items don't really do so well with the larger generators. So I had to have something that fit just the right size over here in this spot. But other than that, I tend to run rustic builds with like windmill power. Or if it looks scientific, I'll use solar, because then it makes more sense.
Gotta listen all the time. Lots of chatter back and forth.
But in here, down in here, this is the one that I'm probably the most proud of.
Thought I heard something?
And at night,
I was right.
if we end up sticking around here at night, this place looks amazing. Like, you can see it now already, how pretty this place looks when it's fully lit up. And I wanted to find, I'm still exploring ways that I could give it a little bit more color, but most of my odd colors tend to be down here. But I wanted to kind of disperse that all the way up through up here. But nothing really stood out other than the Vault-Tec blinking multicolored lights. But then now it all, if you do it like that, then you become kind of a beacon in the night where raiders everywhere can actually see where you are and go, ah, there's where that person is, the one that grows all the plants. But in here is where I was the most meticulous and wanted it to look welcoming to outsiders. Like, I've got some simple merges here. I do have some below table merges that have happened, but that's about as far as it's really gone. You know, I got some magazine racks. This is the rec area, you know, where you can see from here where I've got everything all set up. Little smoking porch. You can play with your toys. You've got cards. You've got board games, you know, etc., etc. For food making, we've got crops already in here. This, when I first built it, this didn't even work. But we managed to, when it did, I was able to kind of fit it in, and it's now a working part of all this. This was added much later. I actually only added this in like last week. And it seemed to kind of fit. Otherwise, I had another setup here for like kitchen stuff and utensils. And then down here, I've got pickle jars and succulent plants like aloe and stuff, just in case you need it. Like you want to make a little bit of burn cream, you have stuff available for it. Some resources when you show up. You wash your hands, come over here and do all the work. You know, get your cooking in, roast off your veggies, because she is a vegetarian. You can store your products here in the military freezer. This also puts you kind of close to the pet lizard terrarium. And this was an art project that the character, like, I was just like, how do I take a flamingo and make it kind of pop? So this ended up being like a junk art project, which is why it's included here. There's actually a reason for all that. Some music down here if you wanted to listen to that. But it's meant to be in a place, you know, where, like, this is where you entertain guests. Either here or up here. So you have a space in either place to kind of sit down and be cozy.
Got a lead that you may want to investigate.
Heard about?
Yeah. Go get it.
And I tend to like Raider Punk as a camp ally. So that's how I got that all set up. Retrieve the weapon case. Don't mind if I do. Where are we going? I think that's the fishing quest right there, which I still haven't done. Like, after doing all the fishing on one character, I was just exhausted to do it on another. I didn't think that would be a very good use of my time. I didn't want to log in and do fishing quests on every single character. So one was enough for me. Especially since, like, the fishing was for the sake of fishing. You know, if there were more fish recipes, I think that would make a lot more sense. But it's just like, you get the fish, you turn in the bits, you can turn them in. Cool. Absolutely. Great. But what other uses to the fish you have? Oh, you can turn it into grilled fish. Well, what's grilled fish good for? Catching more fish. And I was just like, this seems like a circular argument. Or a circular goal. I think it was a missed opportunity. They could have had more recipes for something like that. Instead, you get fish chowder or grilled fish. And oddly enough, like, you can't, there's no crossover, no surf and turf, no fish and chips. These are all things that, like, if you had fish and potatoes with salt, you know, wheat, salt, or I'm sorry, what's it called? Razor grain, salt, and potatoes with fish could make an excellent fish and chips, but they don't really get into anything like that. And I'm saying this as a food service person, you know, I work in the hospitality industry. Like, I could think of one of the things I frequently, particularly in games like 7 Days to Die or open world games that feature cooking, is immediately I'm like, okay, let's take a look at what ingredients are in this game that work given the menu, and I am frequently disappointed. I remember specifically having an argument with, like, what was it, Guild Wars 2, where, like, there's no cows, there's Brahmin, but there's no butter or dairy. Where is it coming from? Meanwhile, if you kill centaurs, butter drops from centaurs. Now, you guys can't really see it, but I'm making that face. What is centaur butter? That sounds disgusting. I was like, at least make it from goats or sheep or something. Because the whole history of cheese was, how do we make dairy digestible? That was the point of it. They wanted to find a way to use all this excess dairy that we couldn't naturally process on our own. We needed ways to process it so our bodies wouldn't seize up. Because the argument of it's not in line with evolution to drinking dairy, it's not incorrect. It's very difficult for us to process dairy that isn't treated in some way, which is why we have the treatment processes that we have. And cheese is the first iteration of that process. So there's a little history lesson about food. So yeah, I'm gonna log to another character after this and show you a couple of other builds that I have on the character that I was playing previous to all this. I do have a boathouse, which I don't know, I'm kind of stuck in a lurch with it because, like, I want to really like it, but it's not, there's something missing about it. It's a boathouse camp where basically I submerged a whale from the Atlantic City update. I managed to submerge this whale into water, and I went, what can I do with that? And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if this was some kind of weird experimental submarine? So that was the idea that I was working off of. And I'll show you guys that in just a minute here. But he does have one place that I'm actually quite proud of, and that's his homestead. But in my opinion, I think I could do more with it because the outside looks amazing, but the inside still feels kind of plain. So I do want to do something with that in a way. I can bring that to another stream. Here you go, Raider Punk.
Did anything follow you back?
No.
Wow, just when you think you've seen it all. Huh. Ah, thanks for picking this thing up.
There we go. Not bad. That's my favorite build on this character. I had planned out what I wanted to do with that for such a long time. I mean, I belabored over location, what I wanted it to look like. I just know I wanted to build a tree house. We'll go back to Bloody Tom here. And the thing about Bloody Tom is his particular backstory is rooted in a challenge. And the challenge being, he does not use modern day technology of the Fallout era. He's kind of rooted in the 19th century technology. So his armory tends to reflect that. It has to be primitive, and it has to be not science, not like advanced science. So no laser weapons, no power armor, nothing that requires a fusion core or energy ammo. And anything that's like high grade or like space age polymer, anything, cannot use. It all has to be either naturally occurring or 19th century technology at most. Which kind of leaves him in an interesting space because it's like I can use naval weapons, swords. The only, like I can do pipe weapons, the broadsider, anything that uses black powder, which is why he is the way he is, and he's a very prominent character on my channel. That's my black powder pirate ghoul. And you can see here, like, my main weapon of choice is black powdered weapons. I'll use the pistol, I'll use the rifle, I can use the Gatling gun. Not a lot of automatic weapons. Like I have a pipe. Like I do have this, which is, yeah, my fixer from wish.com, which is basically the closest thing to a god gun that you're going to get out of a pipe weapon, but it's basically a pipe machine gun. But it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck at all. It really does do a fair amount of really good ground pounding. And so all of his challenges are kind of rooted in that. And I can now fully take down my fishing camps that use weather, because that requires a big expenditure. Like, I don't think he should be allowed to have a weather machine, but I did it because I was already pretty far in the fishing track. And so I remember there were a couple things I had to get rid of, like the symptomatic, the decontamination shower, none of that stuff. I just, like, as I'm playing, I'm just like, I don't know, this doesn't really fit the theme. It feels kind of cheaty to me. So we're going to let that. And this is the boathouse camp. I recently bought the Tiki set, but I'm still not fully happy with it or what I want to do. So we're letting that fully render in. Again, using much of the pavilion set. Here's Sharp. This is his cat, named after the fictional character where the word sharpshooter comes from. So the most technology he's got are these, and these are all coming up. I put these in for a challenge recently, so we can get rid of these now. And we probably don't need that either. Or this. And that's all still connected, or there we go. And this is really kind of pushing it. And I don't sell anything either. And this is all built off of, like, as you can see, like, this is industrial age technology, which is at the very cusp of what I wanted to do. So here's this is the whale.
Oh, hey. Quiet day on the radio network, I'm afraid. It's just about time to eat.
These are all buffing machines. These are the exceptions I put in because I didn't want this character to actually suffer too much in terms of certain things. Oh, wow. I changed a lot of stuff recently, and apparently I did not pay attention to all of it. There we go.
Haven't heard much chatter lately.
I just
Gonna
kind of
check that
shoved him
later.
in there. There's not really a whole lot of room for stuff.
You'd think with all the monsters running around, we
What you
humans
got?
would get along better. Luckily, most everyone.
So
seems
I'm
to be
definitely not done with this, and you'll see in a minute that how unfinished with it I am. Do you have anything fun? No. The cat bed. Over here is where I put the Comrade Chubs, but I think I accidentally scrapped Comrade Chubs.
Lights in the sky. It's communication.
So when I get this all figured out, you know, I'll actually start using this more often. But right now I'm just really disappointed with it. Like you can see here, not a whole lot going on. I've got a garden, but I don't even use it. I got this, I don't use drums. Like this I had some inspiration for, but then somewhere around towards the end, I just kind of lost it. Wasn't sure what I want to do, or even if I want to, but I definitely want a boat house of some kind, and I have since managed to procure some of the boat prefabs since. But this is one of the things I'm definitely going to clean up. But everything right now is just kind of haphazard thrown in. I got mute fruit up here that, like, I don't know why. It's just there. I don't have a huge need for mute fruit. But, or I'm not even really set on the location either. Like, but I need something that's, like, low tech. That does what I need it to do. And then I've got this over here, which is much more closer to the family homestead, because this is more in line with the area that this character, his backstory is. This is the old family homestead. This is where, like, the lineage, the origin of Bloody Tom's family before he was known as Bloody Tom. And this is going to take a while to load in. I love this house. But I'm definitely not finished with the interior either. It seems to be sort of an Achilles heel of mine. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I feel like there's items that I just haven't gotten yet to make the interior of an old 19th century cottage pop. Still rendering in. Yeah, I got the glitchy sky too, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's up with my graphics. There we go. And this is meant to be like classic 19th century. You know, I got this little space here for the animals. You know, got this set up, motorized cooking oil, and this weather machine is actually for clear. It's not meant to generate any specific kind of weather. It's meant so that when I am doing screenshots and doing stuff that I don't have to contend with the darkness of Skyline Valley. Its function only serves as to just make it easier, so that when I come through here, I'll be able to videotape this without having to worry about, like, having to swap my gamma or anything like that. So we've got, yeah, corn. These are the crops. These are all spaced and placed in, you know, where I definitely want them to be. Potatoes. You know, my heart isn't super set on their location, but I definitely wanted to have them out. This was just kind of placed here. I was trying to see how far I can actually get it. Unfortunately, like, this house kit is a hard time to kind of push things up against, like with that right there. it's one thing if I placed it on the inside, but on the outside, I couldn't get it much closer. And that was like a couple of months ago when I set that up. Is the cat going to be a problem? I think he is. Oh, okay, so they did kind of... There we go. That's better. Worm garden. So that, you know, he makes his own fertilizer. And then the most terrible problem with this is, like, the way the lighting is here is very, very poor. And that's why I'm kind of like, I don't, I'm giving up on things. You know? Brewing stations, pemmican, a lot of old world stuff going on here. The treasure chest, the scrap box. These are all here for convenience reasons, not for like immersion reasons. You know, that's Gramps, who's definitely not wearing the actual clothes that I put on him. He's supposed to be wearing fisherman's gear. And as you can see, yeah, down to the 19th century kind of feel to it. Everything in here is something that could have been put together, particularly like the toxic tinctures. Like this is almost Renaissance level, pre-Gilded Age level. So that made a whole lot of sense that we could do. But the rest of these, like, this is all very much cobbled together stuff, you know. The gramophone, obviously. And then inside here is where things get a little more weird. Again, kind of unfinished. Don't really know what I was going with it. And as you can see, the lighting just pours right through everything. Walls that I've thrown up that I haven't changed, although this, like, I'm happier with this one, but, like, how does this happen? Like, look at this lighting. How is this a thing? It's like it comes right through the roof, so that's where I'm kind of at. I don't know, this can't be a permanent thing for me. But it had been so many hours of putting this camp together before, like, this roof I had to redo tons of times. Tons of times. And I still couldn't get it, and I was like, okay, I'm just giving up. There'll come a point when I need to, you know, do a build video, and I guess that time has come where, like, I can actually start getting into that. And then over here's the musket monument. You know, swords and crossed black powder weapons, which is his specialty. And those are my good camps. The other ones, yeah, I had one of my favorite ones that I really wish would have stuck together, like, with me was, where was I at? Was it, yeah, over here by the retreat. I want to build here, if I'm being honest, because I have an in-character reason to want to build in this location. Because technically he's ex-Free States. He's post-collapse Free State. Before he became a responder, he was a he belonged to the Free States. And it was like one of those things that he was kind of born into a family that supported the Free States, so he didn't really have a choice. But politically, you know, it made sense. He's just trying to make his way through the world, so he grew up amongst the Free States. I just got to Riverwood and already Bethesda is throwing plates of cheese across the house. Oh no! Is it because of the physics? Could I recommend to you a cheese mod, the one that I'm using? Are you, first of all, that begs the question, are you using it on PlayStation, Xbox, or on PC? There are a bunch of cheese mods on PC. I'm using one called Glorious Cheese Wheels. And basically, and using PS5 mods. Okay, so this is probably not on console then. But there is a mod called Cheese Wheels Glorious Cheese Wheels. And what it's done is it has replaced various treasure hoards on the map with cheese hoards. And so this was created by a guy who had noticed that his daughter had been saving up all the cheese wheels that she had either bought or taken or looted and had just held on to. And so he asked her why she did that, and she said that she just liked collecting cheese. So he built this mod that replaces hoards, like treasure hoards, with cheese treasure hoards. And she loved it. So he did eventually publish this mod on the yeah, it's great, and it's wholesome too. I have managed to find a sincere amount of cheese, but never a full cheese hoard. So part of my stream focuses around me wondering when I'm going to run into the great cheese hoards. And every single stream that I've been able to do so far has been, I have had to find cheese. I had to add cheese to the collection somehow, either through purchase or through loot or whatever way I could. Yeah, absolutely. So I really want to build with this character right here. I think that this is the most in-character place to build a personal home. Now, I have built here, but the demise of it was spectacular because there is something wrong about the landscape here. There's something weirdly off about it. So what I did is if you've ever seen those houses in Louisiana that like gator hunters, or if you've ever played Red Dead Online and you've ever been around, what is the name of that? The gator village that people have all those fishing shacks for. Well, I tried to make that here on this island. And so it makes the most sense. I built a stilted house right here that was pretty tall up. It had 2 floors. It was very, like, asymmetrical, and it sprawled. I had bits that moved over to these other islands here with little shacks and storage areas. I had a power, like one place that was just nothing but like water power that filled up the entire thing. And I had a treasure hoard, like where, you know, this is where the pirate puts all of his treasure. Now, when you spawn into this place, it would frequently, no matter, even if I was actually in it and I'm trying to respawn in, it would put me under the floors. And when I was under the floors, it was always in the same spot, and it was always in a position where I could not move. So I had to restart the game, and that made me furious. But I still want to do it. I gotta figure out how to do it and where I'm gonna set my camp kit, so when I spawn in, it will be a good position to be in. But yeah, like the house faced this way because the story of this character involves when he was married and had a child. Like, this is where he settled after the Free States, before he became a responder.
You need something?
And this is one of my favorite unaligned settlements
It's just about time to eat.
in the game. Like, there's so much that can be told about this place that you kind of have to put together. But it's just like, it's a fully functional community that, you know, with obviously with the peat here, they you know, probably got good crops. You know, like, they've made a good use of the natural environment to build a fully functioning community on. And with the exception of a couple of scary people that dress in costume Dracula outfits, like, they're pretty well adjusted. And so this is like very much one of my favorite places to be. So I was very keen on making my character's background story align with this community and how it got started. Now this is a part of the world where the Free States had came in from Shenandoah, according to lore. And I learned this from the Irresolute Cartographer. If you don't know who he is, look him up on YouTube. He's an amazing storyteller. And so the Free States had a large chunk of this land right here underneath their purview. And then as the power of the Free States waned, particularly was it in Harper's Ferry, because they had clashes with underground people who lived in the boroughs. There were raiders and like it just sort of the organization kind of rotted from within as there was a schism.
They are at different elevations.
And so
This weather makes everything
when the Scorched came through, pretty much decimated what was left of everything in this part of the map. And then when the Responders showed up, when they spread out, like specifically you meet the Responder, what's his name, Kerrigan? You find him at top of the world in a cage that Rose had put him in. But he comes in, sees the remnants of the ex-Free States people still living here, and he recruits them saying, we're going to be known as the Responders, and you can join us. You can get good at, you could be a firefighter or the fire breather, or you could be a medic. There's so many things that you could do to help other people. So a lot of people joined en masse, which included my character. And he joined in his mid-20s. So he becomes a fire breather. And then he is then relocated to Morgantown to be a responder. But then but the responders suffer the problems of the Gourmands, which are based out of Bolton Greens. And the Gourmands they're famous for being cannibals. So they're doing raids on Morgantown, and the story has a tragic twist at that point in time. So that's why he's kind of a lone wolf now. But his problems of being a lone wolf stem from the fact that when he was human, he suffered from lupus. So he had all kinds of pain and illness that he couldn't manage. He was constantly bedridden, needed to be treated, and over time, the lupus, which it was never diagnosed as lupus, he just knew that he had problems. And between the radiation and the illness, he just kind of, his health degraded to the point where he was no longer able to protect people. And so he threw himself at being a ghoul because being a ghoul cures diseases. And now he's more able-bodied, but at the cost of his looks. And the fact that, he's not terribly welcome in a lot of communities. But that's a story for another time, because I do not support Bethesda's ghouls can't intermingle with other factions, even though each one of those factions has ghouls in them. That's a whole other different argument. So, the birth of Bloody Tom is a hardy, gritty, world-weary survivor whose family is devastated by raiders. He doesn't play well with Foundation.
Sniper rifle, huh?
Um,
I bet you can pick them off before they even know you're there.
Took chems to kind of control pain. And so, this is the only natural resort of somebody who wants to take their life back and is willing to do so much to get it back. But, at the cost of becoming a ghoul. So what does that mean? What does that mean for Tom and his future storyline? We don't know. But he does live on. And then my other ghoul character, who was a ghoul from the beginning, I love this character a lot. She was, for the longest time, my favorite one. And that's Cordelia. She's the character that I played when the ghoul season dropped. Because she was slowly becoming a ghoul. Or she was slowly being ghoulified over the course of like 20 years. And I made her in the character editor to look as though she was in the process of ghoulification. She had ratty hair. Like, I have in the old channel, like, old pictures of her of what she looked like. She definitely looked ghoulish. She was in the process. Like, I don't believe for a second that ghoulification is something that happens in 10 minutes. Like, that's just not... That doesn't seem immersive or practical or even scientific. It's something that happens over however long it happens. It's chronic, and it's, you know, maybe a couple of weeks makes more sense to, you know, several years. But pseudo immortality, you know, that's a lot to get your hands around, or a lot to get your head around. But the lore of ghouls has kind of changed, too, because in Fallout 1, they were effectively zombies. And there were smart ghouls and dumb ghouls. And it wasn't that you were falling into feralness, it was that you were falling into the zombification state. So Necropolis from Fallout 1 was surrounded by a lot of the ghouls that were slowly losing sentience, versus the smart ghouls who remained in charge. And feral ghouls didn't eat regular ghouls, you know, non-feral ghouls. So again, I have so many problems with that argument from a lore standpoint, especially since, like, that is a problem. I think they wanted the ghouls to suffer something, and they implemented it in the weirdest way possible. So this is Cordelia. She is a employee of the Blue Ridge Caravan, and so, like, this is her camp here. This needs to be updated, because this is the oldest camp that I have that is still together. So when we go through the new season next week, these are the camps that I'm going to be looking at, or like either stripping and rebuilding and removing. I got to figure out what I want to do with some of these, and I got to, like, which one am I going to start with first? And it's weird that the only character that I have that is an actual vault dweller is my archer character. She was born in the vault. She is just a young girl in her mid-20s. She is a Vault Trek trained agricultural specialist whose goal was for the program to learn how to cultivate crops in the next world that was gonna come. She was part of a survival project. So we're gonna let this render in. But it hinges around This Pulowski shelter is the reason why this character is a ghoul. That is the story. That's what I began with. This Pulowski, this one in particular, is the reason why this character is a ghoul. Because she was trapped in there for several days when the bombs fell. And when she came out, this is the place that she had renovated when she finally found her way through the world. It's basically like a little like bed and breakfast kind of setup that she has modified for personal use. And this is Leo, the only other this is the only other ghoul character to hang out with that made sense. I got like this little, you know, kitchenette setup. This was all empty when she first moved in. And then this is her room. This is where she comes home from work, you know, when she wants to have her quiet life. This is her deck. You know, she hangs out. She does her thing. Here's the technology up here. This is mostly up here for convenience. It's not really for anything else. Nuka-Cola, Margular, she is a carnivore ghoul. But, like, as fancy as all this is, I needed an excuse to have buffing stations. So we have the arcade. This is Cordelia's arcade. That is, I don't know if you'd call it open for business or open for shenanigans, but basically, being hospitable is kind of like if you're going to attract more bees with honey than vinegar. So I made this before the Ghoul Day, but like easily over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I made this camp, and I've added stuff to it slowly, but I think I can, like, there's still more updating that I need to do. But basically, anybody can show up and hang out, have a good time, play a few rounds of billiards, you know, waste your time, have some popcorn. I wanted to put like a micro movie setup in here, but I wasn't sure how I was going to do it because there's limited floor space, and I didn't want to make things too tight because a recreation area is not really a terribly good recreation area if you're climbing over your friends in order to play games. Like, you need space. You need to feel like, you know, you're free to spread out. So this is the arcade. She's rebuilt it, re-renovated, or had it re-renovated when she had the caps to do it. Yeah, when did I make this camp? I think it was the season, the season right before, like, the whole milepost 0 thing dropped. I'm not exact. The presidential. It was the Enclave. During the Enclave season. Not the Scientific Forge, but the one before that, like the presidential run or something like that. Though, it was the one where they introduced like Atlantic City. I think. Was it Reach for the? No. I don't remember, but it was like a long time ago. I bet you if I looked at my scoreboards that I have saved, it would be underneath wall decor, I bet. Where's wall? There's floor decor. There we go, wall decor. So these are all the seasons that I've completed. Yeah, the most dangerous game. Duel with the Devil. The Rip Daring. Big score. Yeah, this is the one, the big score. So we got the big score completed. The fight for freedom. That's what it was. Shoot for the stars. That was Atlantic City. Rip Daring, which came out after Nuka World on tour. Yeah, there we go. And then the new ones. This is, yeah, Skyline Valley. The Pioneer. This is, yeah, Country Road. That's Milepost Zero. This was the Skyline Valley. The Scientific Forge. This was the Raid. Glow of the Ghoul. Gone Fishing. So we're looking at easily like 2 years worth of, maybe two and a half years of playing this game. So not bad. But yeah, this is another thing I gotta update. I want to, like, the original house structure I want to keep intact, like the footprint of everything, but like these were all afterthoughts. Like, I don't need any of this stuff out here. This is just put out here for convenience, but like I was very focused on putting this together for the storefront, but it looks kind of plain. It looks like, you know, a very bad Chinese restaurant was kind of put in here, because like inside is crazy and awesome, but the outside is like not so much, and some of the letters don't fit. Like it's all kind of cobbled together. I think I could do better, and I could also, like, there's so much stuff that when I was an early builder, there's so many mistakes that I've done. So many mistakes, and there's like crap underground that I never went to get. And then I started slowly adding stuff, like the water boiler, the plants, like that came later. Just, they were just giving me stuff, and instead of, you know, being smart about it and redoing all my camps, I just kind of threw them in there without much thought. There originally were a lot more trees, because I was experimenting with the idea, because when they put these trees first in, I wanted to make sort of like this shrouded elf-like grove. You know, like that maybe you'd see in the Lord of Rings or something, and I did build a camp like that, and that has since come up. But those are the big camps for this one. This is another one that I started that I didn't finish because, like, I like this camp. I want to like it, but I can't build here. I just can't. There are so many things that make it very difficult to build here. And it is, as you guessed it, this is a favorite place, you know, that people like to build, but a lot of people have moved on since the early days of building here. There are so many other places to build that are very much easier to build on. And we've gotten a lot more items in the Atomic Shop and in Seasons that enabled us to grow bigger, more immersive. And yeah, here's problem number one. This happens a lot. I started building, and all of this stuff that's already pre-existing makes everything super difficult. But I chose it because I was just like, it makes sense if a ghoul lived here. And we've got that. This is something else that kind of works into the back of my mind. Like, why would I live so close to... Why would I live so close to culties? Like, that's a terrible idea. So I realized that I was losing my love for building here when I put this up, And this is just ridiculously plain. Like, this is just laziness incarnate. You know? It's so difficult to build here because all this trash and everything makes it exceptionally difficult to build around it. And then you got stuff like this, where the dog, like, glitches in and out of things. So, I'm not super keen on... I gotta do something with this camp. And then, again, like, I just wanted to throw stuff in here, things that I knew that I was gonna use. But I never, like, I had it, I put it up, I used it for about, I don't know, a week or so, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I don't like building here anymore. But again, like, asymmetrical build. I wanted it to look like it was just thrown together. And you can see a pattern of me. I love using the pavilion kit. It is probably one of my... It's definitely my favorite kit to build with. Now, from the outside, it looks all right. But in here, this place is a damn nightmare to work in. It really is. Anybody who has built here, man, absolutely, absolutely. I found out your pain. Ooh, hello. Tasty, tasty cheese curds. One of the upsides of living so close to, living 30 minutes away from Wisconsin. I have one more camp I want to show people. Maybe, yeah, two more. One more, two more. Less is involved in them because they are camps that I was inspired to make them, but then I don't know, just like they became couched in time periods. One of the camps that I've got is sort of like this, I don't know what you would call it. It's like a trailer trash camp, which, you know, is one of my favorite. Like, I really love I love the concept of trailer park chic is what I call it. So Protectatrons, I'm guessing, would be Beckley, but we'll have to come in at Sal's Grinders, since I think the spawn point on those is both. But I love the concept of trailer park chic. So my main character, the one that doesn't have any challenges or restrictions, isn't kind of like couched in any particular thing. Completely unrestricted that way. Is actually the one character that will frequently use power armor. It's the only character that I've got that will willingly get into power armor at any given point in time. The other ones are like, power armor? Like, what? And I have 3 different sets for him, too. Him, her, whatever I ended up... Like, I'll change their aesthetic whenever I want. I wanted to at least have one character that did that. And I made this gun last week, this double-barrel shotgun, because I was determined to make a really, like, baller shotgun that wasn't the cold shoulder. And I had all the right stuff to do it, and it ended up being a rousing success. see that? I'll damn near kill myself with this thing. I love one-shotting things in this game. If I can one-shot it, I will. I'll do whatever I can to make it so that I could try. That's one of the reasons why, like, if I was more patient, like, I could do more with bows, because... Yeah, there we go. Look at that. I killed 2 of them, and all of the rest exploded. Now, they're just trash mobs, but damn. Yeah, so quad, limb damage. It's a road gun. She rides shotgun. That's how she rolls. Now, the double barrel does more damage for shotguns. It does about the same amount of damage as a Gauss shotty. She does have one, but I don't prefer it. That the Gauss shotty is it's nice, but it seems a bit too technological for her. Canonically, she uses a pump shotgun as part of her background. Like her first big weapon that she's like, this is my baby, was a pump shotty with almost the same stats. But I don't know. Do I want to do the other camps? Because there's not really anything special about them. The trailer park one is kind of neat, but the main camp for my bloodied character, my space cowboy character, like I had an idea. Like I wanted to try and make like a machine shop for him, but I don't know. It just does. He's not an engineer. And then as the course I'm building it, I'm just like, what am I really trying to push with him? He's a space cowboy. Shouldn't I have like a space camp? But like, he's kind of crazy. It doesn't make much sense for him to have a space camp. It makes more sense for him to be, because he's a little off and he doesn't realize it. He doesn't realize that he's got severe PTSD. Severe complex PTSD that has made him a little hoo-hoo. So we'll just do some quick stuff here before I send you guys to another streamer. Let's see who's available, actually. Who else is streaming tonight? Let's figure out now so that I have a link waiting for you all. Ah, okay. That's what happened to Space Ghost. There are a couple people that are... There's one person streaming Fallout 76, but they don't really need my help. Everybody I know also knows them. Another one in the deep Shenandoah Valley. It's not there for any other particular reason other than that's just an easy place to build. But I have the camp that I kind of want to build. I wanted to call it Listening Post Zeta. It's basically a communications array. But it didn't end up really coming together like that. Again, asymmetrical build. It looks more like a gas station than a machine shop. But why a gas station in the middle of nowhere? And this is a fully automated garage, like open, close. It's very much like a refrigerator. You know, work area. I was just like, there's not a whole lot of things that fit in here that would really make it look like a machine shop. And then when I started changing things around, like with the internal walls, I started dealing with stuff like that. Everything on the walls disappeared, so I had shelves that I had meticulously placed items on. The only thing that didn't go to crap was this office space over here. But yeah. Where the fission engine... Hey, Spen! Kylene, how's it going? But this is my bloodied character, and yeah, this is meant to be a machine shop, and it just didn't come together because I was working on this camp for weeks, and I did it around Halloween. So in addition to everything else that I had, I was converting it out of its Halloween status. And then I got all this, which didn't really come together. I wasn't sure what I was going for. Like, I wanted this to be flush with all of this, but then as you come down here, like it looks kind of weird. And this is all spaced to look like, sort of like country trash, but also kind of defensive barricades. You know, I had wanted to do something with this, but then I had to deal with that, like this whole undercutting. And with everything in here so tightly, I couldn't do anything with it. So he uses all the pew-pews. See, this is the guy who's got all the technology. I think he's even got power armor, but it's not like he's even poorly optimized. Like, this character has not seen a lot of screen time. Yeah, there's like stuff that's destroyed. And then this was just a cabin, a bed and breakfast cabin. Nothing really going on here. Wabbit let her son do a build with her character. Did Five Nights at Freddy's. You won't believe how well it works with Fallout 76. Well, you, Five Nights at Freddy's ended up in Dead by Daylight. One of the more last recent patches. So I'm not even really that good at playing a bloodied character, but this is something that I was thinking about doing. Like next season as we get into...
What I got, you need.
Do you have any fun outfits or anything? No, okay. You know, and so I kind of lost the plot on this camp over the course of its history. Didn't end up being anything that I liked, so I just kind of let it go. But it's there when I want buffing. Otherwise, I'm like so many other people. I just go to Nuka World and hang out. That's a quick showcase on that. And then for this is my main character, the unrestricted one. I'll show off this camp real quick, and we'll hand off the reins. I'm not even really, like I said, I don't consider myself a huge camp builder, but given enough time and the right kind of inspiration with the right kind of concept, I'll ride it out and do my best. I've had a couple of ones that are really, really proud of. Like I really, really like the base, like some of the concepts that I've come up with, but there was always something that kind of got in the way. And the one teleporting through the floor, falling through the floor, which sometimes would push me into like pillars. I couldn't get out of them. I'd have to restart my game, and it's just like, ugh, I hate this. I hate this. I hate teleporting into my camp because now I can't do anything while I'm here. It defeats the purpose of actually having a camp. And there's so many features built into this game that makes camp building treacherous. Treacherous is a good word, is what I'd call it. But you just kind of find ways to make it work, or you settle. And either my experiences are like either I don't have the right thing to make it work, or it requires a technique I'm not familiar with, or I'll do a technique I'm familiar with, and then all of a sudden, and particularly like if you're doing the whole going underneath the ground and building up things to build up on so that whatever you're doing above ground can actually sit right, or if you're looking to kind of go and do under the ground building bases, which I had wanted to try at one point in time, and you just fall through the map. Those kinds of builds frighten me because they're just no fun. So yeah, here we go. This is the trailer park chic camp. And the idea of trailer park chic is that it's beautiful trailer park, but it's kind of a collage of crap. I had fun building this one, but I think I could do better with it. We'll let that load in. Again, I build down here because this particular part of the map that follows down this ridgeline is just easy to build on. Also, there was at one point in time with my streaming community where we all built our houses near each other, which was very cool. I thought that was amazing. There we go. It's slowly coming together. Oh, that's just oversaturated. That is crazy on the eyes. There we go.
Listening
This is my Meet Joe Dirt camp. But it is strained for camp budget. Absolutely strained. This little greenhouse here with like glitched gourds, because this character actually makes like cranberry relish, etc. You know. This is my little buffing tent. The camp board, I haven't figured out what I want to put on there yet. The Slocum Joe's prefab, which is probably one of my favorites, even though it's a magnificent pain in the ass to build inside, which is why this is only as filled in as much as it is. I was like, my camp budget sucks, so let me wreck all this and I'll do something with it later. There's my little cow corral. This didn't take long to make at all. kind of a fun thing here. The Telltale trailer park car that sits in the grass. I have the grass turned way down, which is the reason why you can see most of this. Otherwise, it would be way more full like it is over here. Like, you'd see a lot more of this. The trellis. Yeah, more trailer. I think, yeah, this is where Raider Punk is set up. Picnic table. And in the middle is where all the water and power is. So, fun little camp. Again, not an expert camp to build, but it was nice. It was nice to put together. I wanted the whole, like, trailer park wagon train kind of aesthetic. I had a different. I had the Pittsburgh. What is it? The multi-tier. Yeah, this one. I wanted to do something with this. The makeshift mega mansion. Oh, there it goes. This is what was here previously to it, but building, like, electrical wiring this thing is a nightmare. I was doing really, really good until I got to the wiring aspect, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't... This thing begs to be lit up. Like, straight up, like, massively lit up, like Party Central lit up, but you can't... It's very difficult to do. Like, you need specific bits that I didn't have at the time when I first made it. So, I wasn't until much later where I was able to get, like the little mini generators. And then I never bothered. By that time, it was already too late. So that's pretty much that for this camp. Does she have any? Yeah, Camp Thorn, this was the camp that she had used before that. I think that's all tore up now. There's nothing special in there. And then, what's another one? I like building up in here in this area. Especially for trailer parks, because this area looks like like trailer parks just straight up belong there. My, Grove camp was over here, and then I had the Vaultec Agricultural Research Center. I had a camp there. It was basically a nature center, reconverted nature center, which was really, really fun to build. But so far off the ground that if you were using prefabs, it was hard to place them. Very, very difficult to place. It was, like, frustratingly bad. But, yeah, what are my other camps? The Ash Heap Outpost? I think I don't have this camp anymore. Oh, no, I ended up moving it. Yeah, this is one of the camps that I actually moved by mistake. I think this one is destroyed. This was originally like a raider build that ended up... It just kept getting attacked over and over and over again, and it was so big and so clunky that it was hard to place defensive anything. And it was built to be tall. Placing turrets up top, though, made everything look really kind of gaudy, and that camp ended up being my inspiration for the treehouse camp. I bet you if I were to rebuild this one in the same location, I would build it way differently. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's just a camp device. Yeah, I remember I put it down and I was like, damn! I lost the entire camp. I was so mad. Yeah, but I think that's pretty much it. That's it for the Ram at Zero show tonight. But before you go, thank you all for hanging out and spending time with me today. For those of you who stuck with me all the way through. Hitting the likes, the subs. I got the 2 subs today. Thank you so very much for that. Thank you, Queen Foxy, and thank you, Kenny, for subbing up. Any of the feedback, I did put out posts today, so thank you for the feedback of those who've already filled that out. Any support you've shown me on the channel, your input really helps direct my content. For real. And if you are new here and you want to stay in the loop, consider hitting the subscribe button. Some of you have already done that. My current official streaming schedule is Mondays 4 p.m., Tuesdays and Saturdays at 5 p.m., with the Saturday one subject to change. 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. EST here on YouTube. We will be returning again soon, but in the meantime, this is Rama Zero signing off for now, saying be safe out there in the wasteland and stay legendary, everybody. Have a great night.
Through the dust and the ash, with horns held high, ran stashes to ruin where the raiders cry. We see a bone crumble beneath the fish tread. The world gone wrong, but the ground made dead. Through rubble, through the storm, I'm the beast at the wasteland form. No chain can't hold it, no barricade stand. The ram comes crashing through the land. Horns and wild, I got places to go. I charge through ruins, leaving a wasteland road. With each step I take, the ground starts to quake. The ram is a legend that no force can break. Through rubble, through the storm, I'm the beast at the wasteland form. No chain can't hold it, no barricade stand. The ram comes crashing through the land. Mutants quake when they hear my roar. Raiders scatter off as I break down doors. I'm king of the herd, but I'll always run free. Head down full charge, the wasteland's gotta flee. Through the rubble, through the storm, I'm a beast at the wasteland form. No chain can't hold, let no barricade stand. When the ram comes crashing through the land.